Okay, Rabotai, Baruch Hashem, we are back to our night shiur in our beautiful Beit Knesset Bet El, and we are continuing the halachot of Rosh Hashanah. We finished with the Simanim, we finished with the Birkat Hamazon, right now we're going, Rabotai, to the days of Yom Tov. Rosh Hashanah is part of it, is Yom Tov. Can you do different things on Yom Tov? And we spoke about on Shabbat, you're not allowed to do grama if it is shortening the time that the light is on, or making it faster, the time should turn on of the light. On Shabbat, not allowed to do this according to the Kut Yosef. However, on Yom Tov, grama, 100% allowed. The person is allowed to shorten the time, allowed to expand the time, allowed to make the timer, turn on the things, the Oraita things, the Rabbanan things, everything. Play with the timer all day long, no problem. It's manual timer we're talking about, not digital timer. You're allowed to, that's on Yom Tov. Yom Tov, grama, 100% allowed. Remember this because it's going to help you a lot during Yom Tov. You can put everything on a timer. The fan, the heater, the AC. It's hot in the Sukkah and the Rosh Hashanah, in the end of days of Sukkah, you make the timer, put the AC on. How long you have to do? Delay? 1 second. If you can turn on the AC through a manual timer, there is old ACs that don't have digital screen. They just have the knob. It gets electricity, boom, it turns on. The new ones, they have digital ones, dardisar. After the electricity comes in, you still need to turn on the system, physically. It's not going to work with that. But the fan, for example, or heater, in the Sukkah, you're sleeping, you want to make it comfortable for you. During Sukkot Bechor, you're not allowed to sleep outside the Sukkah for all 7 days. In America, all 8 days and nights. 1 minute in Kaneso, fall asleep 5 minutes like this, you're not allowed to. Asur de Oraita. Every second a person sleeps out of the Sukkah, Isur from Torah. All night, 7 days, and all days, 7 days. In America, 8 days. Yes, Bechor. In English, please.
This is walls. This is schach.
Yeah, I saw your schach.
Yeah. You see my schach?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I make it plonka around between schach and the wall, all around пленка, если я могу сделать, чтобы ракун туда не зашел. Потому что если пленка будет, он туда не зайдет.
What's the problem? Why not?
It's not going to be because of the schach, attaching schach, this and that.
Where do you want to put it exactly? On this metal thing?
No.
Where?
Schach, and the schach, like 2 feet, all around the schach, I made it plonka.
And under this plyonka plastic, people not gonna sit? You're putting it under the what is schach? What's schach? You're putting it under the schach or you're putting it on the side of the wall? On the sides. No problem. No problem. On the sides, no problem. As long as on the bottom you have wall.
Wall, schach, и вот где они соединяются, 2 feet.
Yeah, no problem. No, if you put this way, no problem. But if you put this way, under that plastic, you cannot sit. Okay. And at 2 feet, it's fine. Up to 6 feet you have. I'm saying up to 6 feet, you're allowed to put something non-kosher from the side. Up to 6 feet.
6 feet.
Up to 6 feet, you have permission. Понимаем или нет? До 6 feet вы имеете право некошерный вещь поставить, но под него сидеть нельзя. Просто чтобы эта стенка считалась для вашей сука, до 6 feet можно вам это сделать. 2 feet тем более можно. Церхаимов, how are you? Это на садик. Пожалуйста, фрукты, мезонот. Okay? So that's why get yourself timers for Yom Tov, because on Yom Tov you're going to have a lot of leniencies with the timer. You're gonna bless me for that. Blankets for the sukkah, electrical blankets. Whenever they're cold, you put on a timer, turn on. You ever slept with electrical blanket? Huh? You're not gonna. Warm. Very warm. You can make it very warm.
This year is it's early the sukkah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to be cold.
Yeah, it's not going to be too cold.
You have a bed inside the sukkah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bed, mattress, whatever you want.
Это который матрас надувается. Уже вот сейчас гости сидим мы, да? Сейчас все ушли, я хочу это убрать, поставить матрас, чтобы он накачался. Можно или нет?
How are you gonna blow up the mattress? Michael? What
I put in the timer, like you say. The timer is on, and он включится и будет качать.
Пожалуйста.
Вот так?
Yeah. But you have to check that it works. Sometimes the pumps, the digital, when the electricity is from the timer is going to kick in, the digital is going to get electricity, but it doesn't turn on. You have to press the button, and then it's not allowed.
Шинуй?
Shinui, but you should not do these things. Shinui, you're right. You could be lenient, but shinui. But you should not do these things next to kids, next to babuля, next to this. Да, никто не видит? Окей, один раз. Целую неделю что будешь делать? What's the problem to do it before Yom Tov? Before Yom Tov, you do it. Huh? Да? Why you need to do it on Yom Tov? Do it before. If you're stuck, никого нету, okay, בסדר, בשינוי, you could do. שבות דשבות במקום מצווה. Because to turn on the pump is not restricted by Torah. It's only restricted by the Rabbanan. And we learned to do Isur de Rabbanan בשינוי, for purpose of mitzvah, mutar. Johnny Bechor, mutar.
Yeah, but this mitzvah you could do beforehand.
You're right, but let's say he didn't. Nevertheless, we allow it. But you should not intentionally do this, yeah? If it happened, you stuck, okay.
Там во сколько у них?
10. Да. Это 3 минуты отсюда. Может быть, 5.
69-го.
Я не думаю, что он прав. I don't think so. Okay. Сейчас сказал, знаете, I think it's different. Okay. Спросите адрес точно где.
На свадьбе какой адрес? Через свои каналы пробейте адрес.
Нету как. Find out where the address of the synagogue of Dahan. It's a corner house. I know by my eye. I don't know the address. Okay, next. Now you cannot invite Goy on Yom Tov and make for him shashlik separately. Asur. Candles. Yeah. Oh, you have it on the pamphlets. Которые раздают памфлет здесь. Его адрес там синагоги есть. Окей, следующий. From the light that you need to do Motzei Shabbat Avdalah, you cannot do it from the light that you put for lighting me'esh le'esh, alo ba'alo. It has to be designated only for Avdalah, for illumination. So the candle that you will put to light from me'esh le'esh, cigaretta, the gas, other things in the house you need. You cannot, after Shabbat, say on this bracha, borei morei ha'esh. Asur. Because it's not, yeah. You light from this something else, and that something else has to be turned on in a dark room, because it has to be illuminating purpose. You understood? Very good. Next.
69-44.
Skin it.
Как будто вы туда едете. Сделайте мне отправку.
Okay. Showering. On Yom Tov, a person is allowed to shower a full body shower inside the house with hot water. Showering in hot water on Yom Tov, mutar. Not in the mikveh bechor. In public bathhouses, asur. I can see. In public bathhouses, like mikveh, not allowed. I'm not sure. Can you please bring it closer? Oh, I think so. They made a lot of changes if it is.
It's,
Yeah, it is this.
okay.
Yeah. Okay? Very good. Good, you checked. You see? Responsible. Prostak niskinu. Checked on the Google, see the picture. Okay, so this is as far as showering. But everything else still applies. You cannot squeeze your hair, bechor. Asu. You cannot squeeze your hair in the head. And you cannot squeeze the towel. You cannot squeeze the body hair in your other parts of your body. Only dabbing. Dabbing like that. Shampoo allowed or no, bechor? Allowed. What about sabon, the bar soap? Better not to, but if you need to, you're allowed to also. Very good. For Sfardim, I'm talking about. Okay? ברחיצה וטבילה ביום טוב ישנה הקלה, והיא במחאת עצמו השאירו חכמים בגזירת הבללים על מקומה. אפילו על ידי דוד שמש מותר למרחץ, מותר לרחוץ את כל גופו בחמין שהוחמו מערב יום טוב, ולמעשה מתירים גם בחמין שהוחמו ביום טוב עצמו מעליהן, ולכן אפשר להתקלח ביום טוב מקלחת פרטית במובן של דוד שמש, בלבד שיזהר מאוד לא לעבור על איסורים אחרים. אוקיי, next, רפואה ביום טוב. On Shabbat, we're not allowed to eat things that they are purposely done for healing. However, on Yom Tov, the laws of healing does not apply. Lotion is not because of healing, it's because of smearing.
Sometimes it's cracked.
Yeah.
In that case, it's still.
So if you're usually allowing, applying lotion on Shabbat is not a problem of healing. The problem is smearing. So if it's going to get absorbed. Huh? What tablets? Tabletki. Medication. So it depends. If a person takes the medication, which tablets you talking? Which medication? For critical sick? Every day he takes it, no problem. He can continue to take it. Only whenever a person's starting on Shabbat the medication process, if it's no life risk, you just not comfortable for the person, you should not start on Shabbat. But if he started before Shabbat, he's allowed to continue on Shabbat. Clear? If not, I'll explain again. Shachaimov is clear? Eitan, you got it? If not, I'll explain again. But I have all the patience in the world. When it comes to Torah, I can explain 1,000 times. Be'emet? Yeah.
Person need to eat small amount of food before taking medicine. Is it allowed or Shabbat?
Yeah. When? What part of the Shabbat? Before Shacharit, yeah. Yeah. If he needs to do it because of medicine, no problem. He doesn't need to do Kiddush also. You better if you could do Kiddush with wine, say pick up wine 3 ounces, says bracha borei pri hagefen, sure. But not obligated. It's debatable. Fami did. And then you drink the whole entire 3 ounces. If possible, if you have issues with sugar, mugar, all these things, you can avoid that. Okay, next. Yes.
I know the smearing issue. They said as long as it absorbs, it's fine.
Right.
They said if the skin is cracked.
Then it's a problem of healing on Shabbat. But on Yom Tov, you're allowed to. Yeah. Healing on Yom Tov, mutar. What's the reason it's mutar? What's the reason on Shabbat we don't allow? Because we're afraid you're going to need more of the medication. And back in the day, medication was not coming to you prepared in a pill. You had to make it. On Shabbat, can you crush? No. But on Yom Tov, can you crush for food purpose? Yeah. That's on Yom Tov, the reason of, maybe you're going to come to crush doesn't apply. You understand the logic? Even the pepper, we said you're allowed to crush, even with a special tool. With this grinder. Allowed bechor on Shabbat, on Yom Tov or no? On Yom Tov. Yom Tov allowed or no? Why? Why on Shabbat you say no, on Yom Tov yes? Why on Yom Tov you say yes? Eating. Ochel nefesh. Something you're eating on Yom Tov and it's changing the taste. Salt you're not allowed to regularly. You have to do shinui. But black pepper, the fresh black pepper is delicious. Try it. You'll see the difference. The chorvasi is fresh. Fresh? Yeah? Wow. It's the best. You feel the difference? It's the באמת difference. So that's on Yom Tov, you're allowed to crush in order to eat. So what are you going to tell people? Don't use medication because maybe you're going to crush more medication. I'm allowed to crush on Yom Tov. So why are you telling me don't medication? That's what Chachamim said. On Yom Tov, allowed medication. You understand the logic? On Shabbat, you're not allowed to crush. That's why Chachamim said don't take medication if you're starting to take it on Shabbat. If you started before Shabbat, you already proved that you have enough of it. That's why there is no problem to continue on Shabbat. And Yom Tov, you're allowed even to start it. You're allowed, bottom line. Everything is machlokes. We just have to know bottom line. Bechor Famidim. Very good. Next. No, Tamluji. No. Okay. Talking divrei chol, you're not allowed to do on Shabbat, and also not allowed to do on Yom Tov. Gavoy bekor, business and stuff like that, they are not allowed on Shabbat. You're also not allowed to on Yom Tov. Divrei chol asur b'Yom Tov. Clapping your hands, dancing, jumping, also not allowed on Yom Tov. V'samachta b'chagecha, asur to do on Yom Tov for Sephardic. You're allowed to do b'shinui. The only time we give a leniency, Simchat Torah. Simchona besimchat Torah. Simchona. Only then you're allowed to. On Simchat Torah. Simchat Torah? Yeah, is it? I don't know. I didn't check. Yeah? That's what comes out? 9/11 comes out? Rosh Hashanah? Wow. Bechor knows information we don't. Now they put protection on the new buildings there or no? B'diavad. Yeah. That's why I don't listen to news, Bechor. I ask you all the time. Why do I need my headache? This guy said like this woman said like that, this Devona said like this. What am I going to change? Just sitting and listening to all this, being worried and fearful. Why do I need to know it? If a person believes Hashem runs the world, sure. If you don't believe Hashem, Habibi, you're in big trouble. That's it. Always believe Hashem. Ana Hagai. Simchona besimchat Torah. Simchona. Hagai? Сефар Тора, что Сефар Тора? Он взяли или нет? Шаббат буду.
Не, они, оказывается, не знаю, как они обошлись, но это сейчас парня сделаем и отнесем к кресту.
You had? Арон HaKodesh было там? Не пошли. Okay. You know, you're not allowed to put in the restaurant Sefar Torah by itself like this overnight and leave it with a talit like a dead person. It's asur to do. Disrespect to Sefer Torah. You're bringing a big curse on the world, says the Zohar Kadosh. Okay. Any room, even in Bet Knesset. Can I leave the Sefer Torah in Bet Knesset? On the bima over here, on the table over here, covered with talit, and everybody leaves. People think that it's the cover, it's allowed. It's not allowed. Yeah. Even in Bet Knesset, not allowed to. Dahan. Dahan Bechor. Okay. דיבורי... דיבורי חול וריקוד. So that's why, רבו ישי, on Shabbat you cannot clap your hands regularly, you're allowed to clap it בשינוי, Yom Tov, same thing. Next. מדידה, מותר למדוד תבלין לפני נתינתם לגדרת הבישול, בכדי שלא יהיה יותר מדי מלח. אבל לשקול בשר אפילו בביתו, לדעת כמה יבשל, אפילו אינו שוקל במשקל הרגיל, אלא שוקל לעומתו כף או סכין, אסור. וכן אין מודדים אורז כדי לבשל, אלא ייקח בעומד הדעת, ומותר לשקול לצורך מצווה. Here, measuring on Yom Tov, on Shabbat, you're allowed to measure or no, Bechor? On Shabbat, can you measure or no? Measure what? Measure for purpose of mitzvah, mutar. Question to you. Example, let's say right now a person needs to measure Rosh Hashanah at, what's his name? Pesach fell on Shabbat. He wants to measure matzah to find out if it's kazait or no. 1 ounce. Can he put the matzah on the scale? Not digital scale, manual scale. Shabbat on Pesach, allowed or no? Why? Because for purpose of mitzvah. But, says halacha, what about Yom Tov? Do we have also that leniency or no? So, as usual, Bechor, I have news for you. Mutar. Good. What if, says halacha, right now you want to measure the meat or the rice on Yom Tov because you want to cook? Can you measure on Yom Tov the rice and the meat or no? So, as usual, Bechor, I have news for you, not allowed. Because you said allowed, I have to say not allowed. It says over here, something that it's, if you're going to make a, let's say you're supposed to put a little extra meat or a little less meat, is it going to make the food not edible? No. Spices, if you're going to put, you're supposed to put half a spoon of salt. And by mistake, you don't know how to measure, you put 1 spoon of salt. From half a spoon to 1 spoon. It's a small difference in the measurement, but in the taste, it's going to be small difference or very bad taste. Very bad. So spices that makes a big change in the food, Chachamim said you're allowed to measure on Yom Tov. Rice, meat, all these things, they don't make a big change. You were supposed to put 1 yak tapiola, you put 3/4 of the piola. Okay, we made a little less. It's not going to make the taste very not edible. So to the meat, so to the carrots, so to things that they are, if you make palo, for example. Huh? So how much you're going to waste? The idea is, let's say what's his name? The book says, the recipe says, you're supposed to put 1 spoon of, 1 cup of rice. So you don't know if it's 8 ounces cup or is it 10 ounces cup. You put 1 cup, whatever it is. It came out to be 10 ounces instead of 8 ounces. Do you make the food not edible?
No, I'm saying meat-wise.
Same thing, meat. How much, right now you want to put palov, right? You're going to put meat. If you're going to put a little extra meat or a little less meat, you're going to make the palov not edible? No. But if you put a little extra salt, the palov is not going to be edible. It's impossible to eat. Bechor, question to you. Talmud Torah, how many mitzvot do you get? In 1 minute of Torah, how many mitzvot do you get? 1 word, 613 mitzvot. You believe this or prostat napisana? You believe this? In 1 minute, how many words can you say? 200. Make cheshbon, even number. 600 times 200. Skoka будет? Skoka? No?
600 by 200?
Yeah. Skoka будет? Take your calculator, no? Stoga? 1,200,000? Boys, who finished college here? Take out your calculator, no? Ay, 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 da, 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 Adonenu bar Yochai. 4 zeros, 203 and 600, 4 zeros and 12. What did you get? 120,000. No. 200 words times 600. 120,000. That's in a minute. It's more. I just made 600, really 613. 1 minute, 120,000 mitzvot deoraita. Now, multiply it by 10 for 10 minutes of Torah. 1.2 million mitzvot deoraita. 10 minutes Torah. What if it is 1 hour? 7.2 million mitzvot deoraita. 1 hour, you sit, you listen to Divrei Torah. Now, when you pray in Minyan, how many mitzvot did you get? Yekumin ki medona, yekumin man medona. Kaddish. One mitzvah. You understand the value of the difference in you understand the value? That's why a person says, Rabbi, you came late in the morning shaharit, and because of that, let's say you cannot right now make and you came late shaharit right now, I have to catch the minyan somewhere else, I'm going to have to come to shiur. Which one I should take? שיעור קבוע כנגד כולם. תלמידי בכור.
Позвоните мне, чтобы вас слышать. Давай, позвони мне.
Я на телефон записывает.
А ваш телефон? Звоните мне.
אבוא לתרבוז אברך תגי. שתרגב לסיני המקור השם מכונה. Okay. А кто же все закроет, все же уберет? Okay, weiter. So you got the difference in measuring. We have 3 types of measuring. Spices, salt, pepper, stuff like that. Second one, the first one you're allowed to measure. On Yom Tov, you're allowed to put on a measurement and see exactly. The first one. Second one, meat, rice, carrots, these ingredients that they don't make a big difference if you'll make extra or less of them. But more or less, you put. You're not allowed to measure on the Yom Tov. And the third one is for purpose of a mitzvah, like eating matzah, eating maror, stuff like that. This one, you are allowed to measure on Yom Tov. Even on Shabbat, you're allowed to, the third one. Is this point clear? Avraham. You want to measure a person? What? You want to get married to her?
No, we were having people discuss the heights. I say you're not this height. I just want to measure. I can't measure on Shabbat.
Yeah, cannot measure on Shabbat. There is no mitzvah involved. If a person needs, let's say right now, there was one guy asked me, he needs to watch his health. Every day he has to go on the scale. Every day at a certain time in the morning, he has to go on the scale. Now, what do you do Shabbat? Manual. We're not talking digital. Can you measure? I told him, since you have to do it according to the doctor, and you have to keep that your health based on this, you're allowed to measure because to keep your health is a mitzvah. So the measurement will be for purpose of a mitzvah. Following? He asked another rabbi, he told him, Asur, you're not allowed to measure on Shabbat. I told him, he's right. Generally, you're not allowed to. But here, you have a situation that the doctor told you to do that. That's already a different case. Got it? Very good. Next. בסמים, מותר לקטום ולמלול בסמים ביד ביום טוב, כדי להריח מהם. אפילו אם הם בסמים קשים, אבל אסור לעשות כן בכלי. אף אם כוונתו רק כדי להריח, ואינו מכוון כלל לעשותו, ולכן אסור לקטום הדס בסכין. גזרה שמה יבוא לקטום כדי לחצות בו את שיניו. בזה חייב משום תיקון כללי. אבל מכל מקום כל זה דווקא אם קוטם אותם כדי להריח, אבל לחצות בו את שיניו. אסור. A person that wants to on Yom Tov, on Shabbat, he wants to break besamim in order to take home with him. To smell besamim. So you have no problem allowed. But what if a person wants to take a knife and cut? You know, in the Bet Knesset sometimes there is a hard besamim. Like the hadassim myrtles, the one that has the etet. It looks like eyes. The small ones that has good smell. Myrtles, it's called in English. Na ruskom ne znam kak je to. You know what I'm talking about? Smells good. So now their wood is very hard. You can break it. Sometimes it doesn't go. Can I take a knife and cut it like that or no? So this is debatable. Person should not do this with a knife because we're afraid maybe you're going to make from this toothpick. Back in the day, we so used to dental, flossing. We have, 5-star hotel treatments today. Nobody today has to make toothpick. But if you remember as a child, I remember my bovo used to take speech key and he used to make it thin in order for him to clean his teeth. That was life back in the day. I'm not talking about 100 years ago. I'm talking about recent. Bukhara, people came from there 30, 40 years ago. They used to make toothpick by hand. So Chachamim were afraid that if a person is going to cut a hard branch of besamim with the knife, he might go ahead already and make from it shape it to make chas v'shalom toothpick. And to make toothpick on Shabbat or Yom Tov, you're not allowed to. You cannot do it on Shabbat. You can prepare one before Shabbat. אוקיי, next, מוקצה ביום טוב, מוקצה אסור ביום טוב, ואפילו מה שמותר בשבת, כגון קליפות של פירות שראויים למאכל בהמה ועוף. On יום טוב, the laws of מוקצה is stricter than on Shabbat. On יום טוב, the laws of מוקצה are stricter than on Shabbat. That's why on Shabbat, if you have chicken bones, after you finish it, you put it on the table, you're allowed to go ahead and move it afterwards. Why? Because it's edible for a dog. But on Yom Tov, if you put it on the table, you're not allowed to move it after. Why? Because even things that they are edible for the dog, you're not allowed to do it on Yom Tov, move it on Yom Tov. That's why whenever you're eating, Bukharians used to put all the time the kosa for the garbage, to peel the eggshells to put inside, the bones to put inside right away. Don't put it on the table and then you'll need to pick it up individually and put it inside the garbage. It's you moving the muktzah second time, no reason.
Can you put something edible?
You can put it on a plate that has something edible. That's what they do, the kosa. They made a center bowl in the table and people throw everything inside there. On Yom Tov, it's very important to do that. On Shabbat, since the chicken shells, it's edible for chickens. Did you know that? The chicken shell, the eggshell is edible for the chicken. Chickens themselves eat that. Yeah, I saw it's calcium. I saw on the video the chickens eating the egg shells. Yeah, so it's edible for an animal. That's why it's not muktzah on Shabbat. So to the chicken bones, it's edible for dogs. That's why it's not muktzah on Shabbat. But on Yom Tov, the eggshells will be muktzeh, the bones of the chicken will be muktzeh after you put it on the table, will become muktzeh.
Only the bone shells fully clean. Usually there's a little meat on it.
Nachon. If it's clean. Yeah. What type of Bukhari you are? Chicken bone not clean, how's it? You gotta take your license away. Okay, next. So that's on Yom Tov. Be careful with the kosa. Put it on the center so people will not make a muktzah issues. Put right away in the garbage right away in the center bowl of the garbage, or put the garbage can next to you and throw things right away over there. This way you will avoid the problem of muktzah on Yom Tov. פירות העומדים לסחורה, כגון אצל סוחר סיטונאי, שדרכו למכור ארגזים שלמים או שקים שלמים המלאים פירות, ואין דרכו לקח מהם לאכילה, נחשבים למוקצה. אסור לקחת מהם ביום טוב, אף על פי שבשבת מותר לקחת מהם, אבל מותר לקחת פירות וביצים בשם חנווני קמעונאי ביום טוב, בלבד שלא יזכיר סכום המקח. If you have, let's say right now you have a big store that sells wholesale items, fruits, liquors, wherever people, it's in the wholesale, vegetables, let's say 50 pounds bags. It's retail or wholesale sizes. Carrots, 50 pounds. Potato, 50 pounds. This is wholesale sizes or retail sizes? It's wholesale. Right now you have a friend that he has a store and on Shabbat, you need carrots. Can you go to that friend from the back door of the store and take the 50 pounds bag, bring it home, and make your salad with the carrots? Can you do this on Shabbat or no? Says Halakha, you're allowed to. You're going to pay him after, but actual bringing, no problem. Right now you have a party, Shabbat Khatan. A lot of people in your home, and you want to take liquor or wine. You run out of wine. You want to go to the guy, he sells you a box of 12 bottles. That's not retail usage, 12 bottles. It's a wholesale usage. On Shabbat, can you pick up those bottles or no? Yeah. There's Eruv outside. You're allowed to. Don't pay on Shabbat and don't, no problem. But even Jew. Hold on, let me finish this. But on Yom Tov, you will not be allowed to take the wholesale sizes packages from your good friend. Jewish or Goyish, doesn't matter who's the owner. And even if you don't pay him on Yom Tov, you pay him after Yom Tov, still not allowed. This is the second thing that Chazal made a very strict on Yom Tov muktzeh laws versus on Shabbat muktzeh laws. So the food for an animal is stricter on Yom Tov, and the wholesale foods, drinks, stricter on Yom Tov. They become muktzeh. He had a question before.
Well, one time, I had no wine on Shabbat. I went to the store. Was a usual store, the wine store. I asked him to give him one bottle. I told him I will pay after Shabbat. I
Yeah.
give him my phone number, my driver's license, everything. You know who I am. Is that allowed or not?
Yeah?
So store already paid.
Yeah. You're allowed to, yeah. Better for you to go, it's Goyish owner or Jewish owner? Was it Goyish owner or Jewish owner? The owner of the store. Goy. So if it's a Goy, the store was open. It's not like a favor that you open your store. It was open. If it was open, you're allowed to go and tell him, we had over here one Indian over here. Here. Huh? Yeah. No, before him. There was another one Indian over here. He moved, I think, I heard. I don't know. The people told me that on Shabbat, he knows all the Bukharians over here have party Shabbat, or they need liquors many times. So they go, he already knows. I know, don't worry, take. They go front door, they take whatever they want. After Shabbat, they come pay. He knows that the Jews don't steal. If they say they pay, they pay. So he trusts them. And he gives them expensive liquors. He trusts them. And after Shabbat, they're coming and paying him. If it's better, even if it's a Jewish owner, and let's say right now the store is not open, you can ask him to come from the back door and take whatever you need on Shabbat. No problem. Even on Yom Tov, you will be allowed to if it's a retail packages. If it is wholesale packages, on Yom Tov, you're not allowed to. On Shabbat, you are allowed to.
Why can't I go to the front? Can I just take the keep out?
You could?
I could do that.
When? Or to Jewish guy?
No, she's a non-Jew.
To the non-Jew, you have no problem. Go to the front. He's not opening it for you, the store. Yeah. We're talking whenever he's he's opening for you. From the front door, it should not be done. If possible. If not, we make another shinu. Instead of opening both doors, we're opening only one door. Or trying to make it a hidden way, like people should not see.
No, I thought he said in general.
So people should not think, you see, Jew, he's selling to another Jew on Shabbat.
I thought the problem was they thinking me, I'm going to go pay and buy something on Shabbat. That's the problem. That's why I had to open the back.
Right. That's another problem. But the main problem is the first problem, that the Jew sells to another Jew on Shabbat.
He is selling technically on a note for the next day.
Right? Said it.
That's still wrong.
Yeah.
What did you say about the wholesale? I don't get that.
Muktzeh?
I don't get what you were talking about wholesale.
If it's a wholesale packages, on Shabbat, you're allowed to take it.
For yourself.
Yeah. On Yom Tov, you're not allowed to. The wholesale packages. This is the second restriction that Chagazal gave to Yom Tov more than Shabbat. Bechor, put yourself on mute. Bechor. Put yourself on mute, please. Okay. Very good. Next. Now, what happens, says halacha, if you have muktzeh on top of food, and you want to remove the muktzeh in order to eat the food, on Shabbat, you're not allowed to because you don't have an easy pass called food, ochel nefesh. On Yom Tov, you have an easy pass. What's the easy pass name? Ochel nefesh. Something that is done for ochel nefesh, you have no problem to do it on Yom Tov. Therefore, you will be allowed to pick up the muktzeh, move it away, and take your food on the bottom. For example, you have right now banana. Yeah? No, bananas. You have bananas. Now, one of your children, one of the people in the house, put some muktzeh on top of it. Put the phone on top. The home phone, you know? Put on top. Or the remote control, or whatever, of the AC. Put it on top. Yom Tov, you want to remove the remote control in order to take the banana to eat. You allowed or no? Says halacha allowed. Move muktzeh for purpose of eating ochel nefesh on Yom Tov allowed. If it's reachable, yeah, just take it.
No, just take the banana and not touch the muktzeh. Is that better? Or is it better to remove the muktzeh and take the banana?
No, better is to try to avoid the muktzeh. But sometimes it's not avoidable. Or if I'll move it, it'll break. Let's say it's a phone. If I'll just slide the banana from the bottom, the phone is going to break and fall and break. So I don't want to break it and then have problems with my parents after. Or causes just financial loss. I don't want to do that. So I'm allowed to remove it regularly and have the bananas after. No problem.
Yesterday in Shabbat, I wanted to go sit on the couch, laptop. What am I supposed to do? It's closed. Actually, I should move it.
Your laptop is a high level muktzeh.
I was somewhere else, but I didn't know what to do.
In the shinui?
B'shinui, yeah. You have to do any muktzeh you can do b'shinui. But to do it regularly and justify I need the space because I want to sit here, will not be allowed for that. It's a very high level muktzeh. Because it's klisha melachto l'isur, and people are makpid on it. Most people makpid on their laptops. Like I'm makpid on my laptop. Very much. I'm sure people are makpid on their laptop. They don't care. Okay? Now, Lilu Nishmat candles, I told you on Yom Tov or on Shabbat, you first light the Shabbat candles. Then you light the electricity, turn on the electricity. Friday afternoon. And then you light Lilu Nishmat candles. That should be the best practice. And Yom Tov, same thing. There is another question. Can you light from fire to fire? Leilu Nishmat candles. Because you're not really using that fire. Just Leilu Nishmat. Rav Yosef says the fact that people are relaxed, happy that their father and mother have Aliyat Neshama, Leilu Nishmat, that's also considered to be a usage. That we allow it because of that to let the people light Leilu Nishmat candle from an existing fire, no problem.
About the Shabbat candles, right? Sometimes I'm lighting, so whatever I had to light, and it went out. Can I take another match and light from the?
Yeah.
Not
That's the problem. Yeah.
No, I thought you're not allowed to use it. Maybe it's holding. I don't know.
No, you're allowed to. You're allowed to strike a new one or take from the Shabbat candle existing one and light the second candle, no problem. The Shabbat candles are meant for you to use them. It's not like Hanukkah candles. By Hanukkah candles, you're not allowed to do that. Because with Hanukkah, we say we're not allowed to use them. Understood? See, Rabotai, when you learn how much you know, you become guided. Person doesn't learn Torah, he's so confused, everything is not allowed for him, or everything is allowed for him. So how lucky you are, you're coming every night to Shiur Torah, especially Shiur of Halachot, and you're getting to knowledge and getting the guidance. Like this, you're going to have a happy holiday with guidance. Baruch Adonai la'olam. Amen v'amen. Thank you all for coming. See you in the next one.